There we go. So you might have to re-say what you were saying because I
Oh, well, for those that were listening, what I'm talking about is with TNA and Ring of Honor, the whole shabash with that is that the reason why people are jumping onto the Ring of Honor, was not jumping onto the Ring of Honor storyline of their demise right now, is because TNA had been blessed with that curse of being WWE's threat, the being the second coming of a WCW. So with that being said, a lot of diehard WWE fans were very scared when WCW was running. You know, they were afraid that WCW was going to actually run their darling company out of business. I mean, certainly I was too because I'm a WWE fan myself. You know, I guess I like to call myself a WWF fan, hardcore fan. But when you get a scare like that, you know, you don't ever want to see that like that happen again. You know, WWE's that's your mama, and you don't want to see your mama get in type of situation like that or be at jeopardy like that ever again. So TNA is that threat to a lot of people. So therefore, when something happens to TNA, they jump on it ASAP. They're ready to shit on it, ready to talk bad about it because they know TNA is not that far from being at that big stage of a company. They're not that far. No matter how we try to, he's crazy. He doesn't know what he's talking about. No, they're not. They can get one more investor, or they can get one other lucrative great deal, and they're everywhere. Everybody knows that. Well, TNA can have one amazing scenario or something happens, and they're the buzz around the world. It's not that hard to go viral in today's industry. So TNA is just one notch away. And when you know that, you're going to continue to be biased towards that company. So a lot of you don't even know why you're biased, but I'm going to break it down why you're biased. So it proves the fact that Ring of Honor, that everybody wants to they want to throw Ring of Honor in the way of TNA. The reason why they're throwing Ring of Honor, why they was throwing Ring of Honor to be, Ring of Honor is not the second company, is because they know that Ring of Honor will never be able to be at a WWE level because far as them working off their own structure right now, they're light years away. You know, they're fucking light years away. TNA can go to an arena, you know, or go to a stadium. They've done it already before. They've been in I think Phoenix Arizona. They've been in California as well. So they've had bigger spots. You know, they're over in UK where they pull a massive crowd. You know, the 13s, the 1800s, they can pull them crowds over in different areas. Ring of Honor's not doing it. You know, they may pull occasional crowds every now and then, but you know, let's just keep it real. Everybody knows that TNA has brought more bigger stars. You know, they brought more bigger brands and more bigger stars. They have more of a deeper history than Ring of Honor right now, and more of a high profile history. So therefore, they are the threat. Ring of Honor is not the threat. So if Ring of Honor, if IWC puts Ring of Honor in the number 2 spot, they know they have nothing to worry about from Ring of Honor being a threat to WWE. That's fact. They're gonna be we can keep Ring of Honor here. We can keep WWE here. But with TNA, you can't do that. That's the problem. You can't put TNA right here because you know all it takes. Let's go hypothetical. And Ring of Honor, from Ring of Honor fans and our RCW fans, y'all can agree with me on this one. If CM Punk will say, you know what, I'm going to TNA, and a couple other friends may come along as well, but CM Punk makes his appearance. AJ Styles come back. Everybody will mark out. I guarantee you, CM Punk would kind of push that situation of where you had that Hogan, you know, Macho Man situation going over to WCW. Mm-hmm. Still don't believe me? Okay, let's say how far away TNA really is. If The Rock was to go to TNA, that would fuck up the wave pattern of WWE. If you don't believe me, you say, "Oh, Rock won't." Is she crazy? Rock is one of the sole reasons why WWE pulls a lot of views. I mean, the guy can come back and get a pop like that. The guy can put over somebody like that. So
anywhere, Rock come back but for Wyoming, and he'll get a pop.
Exactly. So people, let's keep it real. TNA is not that far. Now, if The Rock with the Ring of Honor, we know we still got some hurdles to go with Ring of Honor. You know, they have to really build everything around The Rock or CM Punk. It had to be. That's why CM Punk won't go. It's why I'm pretty sure he would go to TNA rather than Ring of Honor because it'd be too much adjustment. If CM Punk was to go to Ring of Honor, he might as well start his own wrestling company up. Just keeping it real,
Yeah.
you know. But with TNA has more networks and more avenues than Ring of Honor. They have more connections than Ring of Honor. So it's a perfect fit for somebody like CM Punk because therefore he can branch his ideas, he can bring in his layout of what he wants, and they can meet the requirements. Ring of Honor would really have to they have to be up under the tutelage of a Rock or CM Punk. You know, they don't really have anything because TNA they have experience with dealing with high profile wrestlers. Hulk Hogan, no matter what people say about Hulk being there, Hogan is a very high profile wrestler. Ric Flair is a very high profile. These guys have legions of fans. So
and ego and different egos and everything like that.
Exactly. So they were able to deal with some of the top legends in the company, in the business. So let's not get it twisted, people. So we know for a fact if Rock or CM Punk was to go to TNA, it's gonna be fucking hell for WWE. I mean, let's keep it real, people. It's gonna be hell for them. So that's why we fear TNA. It's not that they hate TNA, it's that they fear TNA because they know there can be a battle for that number one spot.
Especially with the product that WWE is putting out right now. WWE, it seems like they're not even trying. Like they know they have the number one spot, and their fan base is not going to allow anybody else to get the spot, so they're going to just shit on anything else that comes up positive. Like people were shitting on the New Japan. Well, they weren't shitting on New Japan. They were like, yeah, it's good because they know New Japan is in Japan. I mean, in order for New Japan to take off here, they're going to do a lot of stuff to Englishanize, that's not even a word, but a lot of the language, because if you're cutting a dude's cutting a promo and saying Japanese, it's only so far you can really get into the promo.
That's why I said, other companies, they don't look at them as a threat. Like, now, people, they would put them companies over TNA, because therefore, if you give TNA another person in their spot, therefore it'll lose. It makes it look like TNA is against this company instead of WWE. You know, yeah. So you're like, well, TNA is nowhere near WWE. They're going against this person. So now it throws everybody off. But we know damn well if New Japan was a second big company like that, it would be a distinct. You can distinctly disguise. You can basically show the difference between New Japan or any Japanese promotion amongst WWE. You can see the difference. Okay, there's a difference. So you get two totally different worlds. But with TNA, you get a different world, but at the same time you get the good delivery that you want. You want the good language. You want the hip styles to what's going on in the world today. You get those creditable matches that you want. So therefore, there's a lot of similarities between TNA and WWE, even though there is different logos, different branding, different ring styles, different matches. But at the same time, you can still get the same delivery. You can get your hero, you can get your villain, you can get your storylines, you can get your groups, you can get your title matches, you can get all of them. So therefore, TNA is the biggest threat to WWE. Now, you say, well, Tishawn, what about Ring of Honor then? Ring of Honor gives you matches like that, but Ring of Honor, I don't see very many cage matches in Ring of Honor. I don't see very many hardcore matches like that in Ring of Honor. I don't see very many. Well, they have the same ring as WWE, but I don't see very many high-profile matchups as far as star quality in Ring of Honor. So Ring of Honor will not be a threat to WWE. So once if you put
Raw stars, it's not like worldwide stars and everything like that.
Yeah. So if you put Ring of Honor above TNA, then you're safe. So fans know, we're safe. Once we put Ring of Honor over TNA, we're safe because now WWE is basically nothing. Well, Ring of Honor is nothing near WWE. You know that for a fact. But if you
another thing that gives them ammo is like when TNA does things like I don't know if you've seen this, where TNA did the thing where they had a baseball park outside wrestling event. Did you see that?
I think one.
Well, they did that. They only got 69 people or something like that to show up to the event, and people were like, "Oh, this is why TNA is on the same level as Ring of Honor because only 69 people showed up to a spontaneous event that nobody sponsored and nobody knew that was happening.
Well, some people gotta understand is that also one thing I found out is that shocked me is that certain companies will book for TNA to come down to wherever they are, and that happens with WWE as well. So it's dealing with also what I found out from my inside sources that you have situations where you got promoters that'll book a company to come down there and put on a show.
Yeah.
and
that's what they did with that. Somebody put them to come down there to the baseball stadium and then promote it.
Because the reason why I say that, because to those, because I know it's one dude who thinks that, okay, Sean, your sources, no, it's accurate because it happened in Memphis. We had a baseball event down at the River Stadium. A promotional promoter had put that together. And TNA came out, and this was, I think, 2013, no, 2012, one of them, but they was down here. And it was an okay turnout. You know, I was way more than 69 people, but at the same time, it was a promoter that was his promotional company that had basically booked for TNA to come down. So it was more of a deal with where you can do it. Fans, you can do it. For everybody's viewing, you can reach to the TNA offices, tell them, okay, I got a venue, blah 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 blah. We're taking care of that. You know, how much is you want to book and bring entertainment to your certain facility? Like you got certain establishments that may want an event there, and they'll pay. They'll pay for it. If they got the budget, they'll pay for it like this. You have promotions that actually reach out and Dixie, the other members of higher ups in TNA, they have friends in different wrestling territories. They say, hey, the front areas might call and say, hey, we gotta show what you guys do down here or whatever like that. We can partner up and blase. So people gotta understand that part. Because even WWE gets booked sometimes to bring they might get booked to bring their WrestleMania somewhere. You got different companies that'll book them to come here, to come there, So people gotta understand that a lot of these events, and then back then it was really TNA also dealing with Spike TV as well with their lack of support from Spike TV. So it's a lot that it's like half the stuff that TNA does that fucks up on, you can explain it, because therefore it's something that almost every wrestling company goes through. You can book Ring of Honor to come to your area. You can say, hey, I want to bring your promotion down here, blah 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 blah. I got a good $10,000 right now, and I got radio stations and all that. So we got good promotion. So you can do it, or you can say, well, we're gonna do the pre-sale tickets. See how they go. We'll bring your guys on down here. So you can do it like that. But you gotta look at it. I'm pretty damn sure, that TNA, if they pull 69 people, I'm pretty sure that before they came down there, they saw that 69 tickets were sold. Quick.
Yeah. Or they got their money ahead of time.
Exactly. So let's keep it real, people. I know you want to shit on TNA, but let's keep it real. I'm pretty sure that they saw the ticket number count. So if they were not booked, so let me get y'all to prove me wrong, because my inside sources are accurate. Let me get y'all to prove me wrong. If TNA saw that they sold only 69 tickets, don't that kind of tells you, like, well, why would they show up if they're a fucking, they're $1 million company by way of the riches, but they're gonna come to a show that they're putting on. Let's say they put it on. they're not gonna cancel that show. 69 people, get the fuck out of here, people. They got booked. Idiots. It's not their fucking fault. It's not nobody's fault, but the promoter's fault. The promoter are the ones that supposed to have put asses in seats. They're supposed to capitalize on that money. That's like the same situation with music R&B star Carrie Hilson. For those who don't know Carrie Hilson, look her up. She had a story in TMZ. They was talking about saying like, hey, she did a concert. Her concert it was like about 80 some people there. That's all it was. Look, you assholes. It's not the artist. It's the promoters. Because it's their lack of promotion. It's lack of skill. It's their job to sell the tickets and get people in there. Now, if they can't do that, by God, oh well, it's not Carrie Hilson's fault. Now she has a couple of hits that they can promote. So it's that same situation with TNA. They got stars. They got people that they can high profile and put out there. They can put Kurt Angle, Jeff Hardy. They got people that are attractions. They do have attractions. Bobby Lashley, all the people, they got attractions. But it's up to the promoters to be able to utilize these people. Now, if the promoters knew that they couldn't utilize, they should never say, hey, we're going to bring this motherfucker to our city. So for you idiots out there that will try to send me a default like, oh, well, Tishon, they just can't pull the crowd. Well, you assholes. If they really could pull no crowd, what's 69 people to a fucking organization like TNA? What are they going to do with it? If they know for a fact, they look at their script and they say, okay, well, look, we only got 69 people bought a ticket. They can cancel it. They can get a TNA would give the fuck their refund back. They say, well, look, we cancel it, give them their refund. What the fuck going to do with 69? Tickets probably, what, $10 or something like that? $10, $20? Yeah. Get them this shit back. Because get them this shit back. Because traveling will be way much more. Because their travel, getting their wrestlers, there will be more than the fuck them tickets. That's a fact. So people, think with your fucking brain, people. Think. Stop trying to hate all the time. Be a realist, like I am.
You know what? I'm looking at the shit right now. Like this is right here the hypocrisy of the IWC right now. Like they took a picture of it during the daytime, right? And you know, right before the match started or whatever, where it was like just a little bit of people. And I'm going to share my screen with you and everybody else right now. This is the crowd at nighttime when everything actually started.
Oh.
See that's the old. That's when they've been here before because you can see right the red impact.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's the new logo. But right now I'm just now looking at it.
I don't see 69 people.
That's what I'm saying. Like I don't get like people in the IWC. Okay, this might be it right here too. Like, but this is before, right here. Yeah, this is before the match even starts. This is the picture that people are taking. This is whatever. I think that looks more than 69 people.
Yeah, that's quite a few.
And it looks like from like there are old and new photos. So it looks like they keep coming back to this same venue, right? If I'm not mistaken, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you never see that's old right there. So, like in your eyes, what's the hypocrisy of people like they don't put these photos like this out. They'll put out the photo to where, hey, it'll happen like before the match even start. Like what a ring crew is setting up. Oh, they only got 69 people, but they want to show the photo of a whole crowd right here showing up.
Well, it goes back to what I said. It goes back to exactly what I was saying just a couple of minutes ago. Is that I had to break down the why people do what they do. Some like I said, some people hate on TNA or are biased towards TNA and other products because they don't know. But I had to go into depth, American. And to the viewers at hand, I had to go into depth on why you guys do this. Because a lot of times I've been a hater, and I didn't know why I was hating on something. I just was biased towards it. But once I started getting real with myself, I started realizing, you know what? I realized why I'm like this. I realized why I do this. I started analyzing because then I was able to understand other people and why they're so negative towards other things. And the reason why we're so negative towards TNA is because TNA they're close. They're closing in on our favor, so we need to get these punk ass bitch out of here. You know, they're very close. They're very close to being at a spot TNA. I mean, WWE. They're very close. Let's not play it dumb, people. They are very fucking close. So like, keep it real. Keep it real. They're fucking close. For all my video bloggers, y'all know it.
But would it kill them to tell the truth? Like,
yes. Are you crazy? Yes. Yes. This is amazing. People say, you know what? TNA is very well if Just by the look of the draw, they're blow away from being it where WWE is at. They can get, if you look at what TNA does over there overseas in the UK, that lets you know, okay, they could do that here. I mean, they do pull crowds. You know, they do get the attention. They do get the ratings that they need. You know, especially with the network they have now, they're already the highest rated fucking show on there. And I've watched Destination America. They have some good shows. I mean, because Destination America has some shows that you get stuck watching, even though it's the same shit. So you watch some of them shows on there, and every episode be the same, but you be stuck watching them. So I understand why them shows be getting good runs. But at the same time, TNA's over there. TNA just came over there and they're already damn near the number one highest rated show. You know, that goes to show you. And that's the worst part about it. They don't need that many ratings to beat out a lot of them because they don't have to average that much. But their ratings are going up though. So they're bringing in more and more fans. They're drawing more. So just imagine if a CM Punk was to go to TNA right now. You know, oh man, it's a fucking frenzy because you know he's gonna have the freedom to talk. You know he's going to have the matches that you want to see him go up against, you know, or let's go hypothetical. What if The Rock was just say, you know what, fuck it, you know, even though he signed some deals with WWE, but anything's possible.
He really doesn't even really need WWE at this point, but he just hypothetically.
Yeah, he just does it because just for the hell of it, and because he respects his loyalty to the company, but. You can be loyal to the company, but that doesn't mean shit. Hogan was still loyal to WWE, you know, and still did business, you know. And that's what I'm saying. We can't shadow out The Rock or CM Punk and not forget that they can cross the TNA if they want to, and what the impact that they can actually make in TNA and what they can actually do to the company. They will boost that company to that spot. Let's keep it real. WWE was pretty much, they were on top of WCW. But it was just one switch that pulled it up, that pulled it to where it needed to be. Hulk Hogan. When Hulk Hogan crossed over to WCW, game changer. Major fucking game changer.
And then WWE had to take on a more ECW type of style.
They had to. They had to. Now they fighting for survival because Hogan's over there, Sting's over there, Ric Flair's over there, Macho Man's over there. You know, now they got this new gimmick of a giant. So now it was like, whoa, you got Taskmaster. Yeah, I'm gonna go way back. You know, you got all the different characters, these great characters to be displayed into this product. So now it's like, whoa, that was the game changer. Hogan changing over to WCW changed the fucking game. So just imagine, and The Rock is at that level. CM Punk is at a minor level, but the controversy CM Punk brings over is worthy of the Hulk Hogan crossover. Because his controversy is that big. So he can cross over. You know, then he's having a rough UFC. So now if a CM Punk was to go to TNA, now he's more of a threat as now he's at a stage of a Hulk Hogan then now because he brings in that UFC, he's going to bring the UFC crowd and the WWE crowd. So that's a dagger for WWE. You know. So now you look at situations where TNA can get there. Or any viral event can happen, and TNA can get put on notice much more than where they are right now. So let's not sell them short. TNA they do pull a nice following. They do have a nice scenery right now. They've been had it. You know, because you look at TMZ never really stayed at TNA for who they were. They always did things where they would mention the former WWE wrestler. They wouldn't say TNA superstar. But now, like I said this once before, one of our past our past shows, is that now they address TNA, or they address wrestlers like even Robin Nair was on there, or Mr. Anderson, or you saw Austin Aries in there. They address them as TNA superstars. They don't say WWE former WWE stars and like that. When I saw Jeff Hardy on TMZ, they said Jeff Hardy TNA wrestler. You know, so I was like, oh okay. Usually they say former WWE guy, you know, but now they say TNA. So that lets you know that the credibility is there now. And that shows you the good that Hogan and folks like Ric Flair, Hogan and Bischoff did to TNA is that they gave it the identity to where now people they're gonna start respecting the brand to the media, not to the fans, to the media. The media needed Hogan places like Bischoff and all those other folks. They need that because therefore it shows them the media that okay, this is a legit company. That's it. It's worthy, it's worthy of us putting out a story with their timeline because therefore if these big names are on there, therefore it must be something. That's the reason why I say Hogan did work, because therefore now TNA is looked at. And if you don't believe me, go back to past TNA stories on TNA or other media outlet stories on TNA wrestlers that were former WWE stars. They say WWE former WWE star. Even though that they're currently on the roster of TNA, they say former WWE. But now they say TNA wrestler.
More, yeah.
Do they not American?
Yeah, like a long time ago, before, like I said, before Hogan came there, they just say like, former WWE, just a wrestler, if they haven't been in WWE, or they'll just say like, former WWE guy, Kurt Angle.
Yep. But now they address Kurt Angle as TNA. So that's the good part. So it also, I'm bringing all that up to part just letting you guys know that shows that TNA is not at the level you want them to be. Keep real, because like I said, I'm a diehard WWF WWE fan, but at the same time, I'm a realist. I keep things real. You know what I'm saying? I'm not one of you characters biased as video blogs out there to try to just be other characters, which besides yourself, I'm gonna keep it real with you. TNA is good. I mean, TNA is my home state company. Tennessee. But I love TNA and I love WWE. I love the product that they put out. You know what I'm saying? And whenever one messes up, I get on it. But at the same time, there's no reason for everybody to keep hating on TNA. There's no. But I just want to clear up to why people do that.
Well, let me read back into the Ring of Honor story. So all those people, Delirious, Joe Koff, they took world champion Jay Briscoe and Adam Cole with them to Sinclair Broadcasting to try to pretty much, read it right here. Sinclair has a budget on Ring of Honor since purchasing them in 2011, which haven't given them much room for creativity. The arc of the proposal was that an increased budget ROH could become the out-and-out number 2 promotion in the United States. Briscoe and Cole were brought in to represent the locker room as both and are known to heavily support Ring of Honor and the product and brand. Something like that. Let me see right here, blah, blah, but increase last year, blah, blah. So pretty much, let me see, TNA as well. Okay, here's what it is. Into new markets, TNA as well saw ROH outperform them as a business with their live of attendance figures and pay-per-view buys exceeding TNA's, but the year TNA had that isn't saying much. Blah, blah. I think this is a different one, but they pretty much said like they had them come in there and cut promos about how they're becoming the number 2 company because TNA went to Destination America and the higher ups, the guys in suits, pretty much said, yeah, we don't believe you. You need to be more frugal with the money we're giving you. We're not going to give you an increasing raise. Or
they're looking at Ring of Honor's network. You can pull outrageous numbers at a show, at a live event, but still your numbers, your following, your people that's gonna pay for merchandise and all that's gonna be taken accountable. And if that's laughable, we're gonna laugh at it. It's like, okay, well, we understand live event you did good, but apparently the people that's going live, apparently they're not really supporting you guys because therefore they're coming to live events, but as far as on network, why should we invest in you if the live events you're doing, you're not even pulling the same people on your social media or your tickets, your sales on your merchandise? That's just not going nowhere. So therefore, that's the problem because people are not fools or corporate companies are not fools. They know that you can do situations where, say for instance, Ring of Honor probably threw an event, but they partnered up with Dump Truck Wrestling, and they partnered up with Boo Boo's Bash Wrestling, or they partnered up with Booker T's his wrestling foundation. They partner with all because most promoters, it's like club promotion, which I'm involved in as well. Well, what we do is we'll probably partner up with other promoters. This is a promoter secret to all you guys. We'll partner with other promoters as well, and we'll come together and put our events into one. you know, or put our pot into one. So these companies are not, these corporate companies are not stupid. They know what you're doing. You know, more likely they're partnered up with other companies. The other companies that have their matches probably before, and if they have their prelim matches before, and Ring of Honor features that as the main event matches. So these companies are not stupid. These corporate companies are not stupid. They know what you're doing. They know how you're pulling the numbers. You know, or they'll look at your ticket sales and say, okay, well, we had somebody down there. They said that you guys were selling tickets for $2 to get in. You know, they're not, people are not stupid. So you can't go there. We pulled 8,000 people. Yeah, but when you're selling your tickets for $1, you're letting everybody free before 10. You know, you're gonna get that number. You know, it's not hard to get that motherfucking number. So let's just keep it real. Let's keep it real. People gotta understand promotional tactics. And if a corporate company would laugh at you and reject you, now you get it. Apparently they know something that you idiotic ass IWC fans don't know. They're letting you know something that you probably didn't catch the gist of. Apparently this company is not what you thought they were. They're not really averaging numbers that you thought they were going to average, because TNA is charging people for their shows. This company may not be charging a lot of people. They might not be charging the same price.
Yeah, their tickets for their prices are for front row $60, second row I think like 40 or so. Like I think like TNA for their live shows they charge like 100 something just for the front row. I know like I went to a TNA show, it was second row. I think that was like $80 or $70 for second row.
So people don't understand that the price is going to, and when you have like live events like the 8,000 people there, you have other promotions involved. Then the ticket prices for that particular event was lower. So you gotta understand that it's not the same. It's not the same level. As we try to put it on the same, no, it's not the same. You compare them when they're an even bracket. When this company is doing the same thing as this company is doing as far as promotional and budget wise, as far as the earnings in which they're earning for this event. That's how you gotta do it. You gotta do it just like that. Okay, how much were they charging? Are they charging 50? They're charging 50. Okay. How much promotion they're putting into it? They're putting it the same amount of promotion. Then you see where we go from this. Then you see, okay, people react to this company much more on a live event. But still, TNA gets more of a reaction on social media. So that's what a corporate company wants to see. They want to see that. Because they want to see that eyes are watching. And, you know, therefore, because they're corporate company, they're going to be like, okay, we can put the money on the promotion. We can do that. You know, we can get people to come to the events. We can do all that. But we just need to see that if we put this money into you, what companies are you outshining out there? What media frenzy are you starting? Is TMZ talking about you? Is CBS talking about you? Are you on a is there any other ESPN talking about you? Feature on ESPN. TNA has stars featured on ESPN. So it's like, well, you guys don't even got all that. What the fuck we want to do with you? That's why these corporate companies. That's why they kind of laugh at them. Yeah, you want to say?
Let's get into the hypocrisy. I hope it doesn't happen. I hope Ring of Honor keeps with Sinclair until they get ready to leave or whatever, go bigger. But let's just say TNA, not TNA, but Ring of Honor, they get dropped by Sinclair and they have to go back to showing their episodes on the internet only. Or just like right now, the financial. Why don't you see these internet guys on YouTube make videos on Ring of Honor? Like, you know, everybody rushes to turn their webcam. TNA's going out of business. They're losing a TV deal. Let me turn on this webcam. Let me make this video. Let me do a 45-minute rant talking about how TNA sucks and I always knew it sucks. They're throwing birthday parties. They're shaking their ass in front of cameras. They're having a party.
Well, I stated it already too. I talked about. I think I talked about the eternal reason. The eternal reason, which is the reason that some people don't know why they are the way they are. But to wrap yours up, what sounds better? What sounds better? You talk about if you make a post talking about Ring of Honor, Look at it right now. As a matter of fact, look at the ratings of people that's posting videos talking trash about Ring of Honor right now, if there are any. It's not worth talking about. Who's better to talk about? TNA? If you say, how many people know TNA? You get more likes on TNA than Ring of Honor. TNA or Ring of Honor. How many superstars do you know? Or whatever like that. You by far you're gonna get more of a TNA. Look at TNA's appeal on Twitter and other social media. They have more followers.
There's only three people talking about it.
But that lets you know who's really worth talking about. There's nothing worth talking about. Not bashing Ring of Honor, but you'd rather talk about TNA than Ring of Honor. That's just what they're saying. That's what the IWC is saying. Look, I know Ring of Honor's fucking up, but we're just not gonna really pull any attention with Ring. Like, who the fuck are they gonna catch their attention with? We got Christopher Danielson. Oh, we got El Patron is gonna be here one of these days, guys. Can we get something else more? It's not very much they can go off of. The best story they can sell is that CM Punk is to be on here. That's about it. So the bottom line is Ring of Honor is not worth talking about. That's what these people, what they really want to say is what they're saying. On Wrestle Talk Media, Ring of Honor is not worth talking about. It's more.
They have great shows though. They have really great wrestling shows.
Well, as far as I'm saying that they're not worth talking about. As far as a report, it's just not that draw. To your headlines, it's not that much of a draw. Because if I say ROH canceled, I probably average about a good 200, 300 people probably. It's not really gonna just give you. If I say TNA is canceled, because people gonna identify TNA. Whether especially the casual wrestling fans or hardcore wrestling fans, they gonna know what TNA is. Ring of Honor, the casuals may not know Ring of Honor. They gonna know WWE. They gonna know TNA, WCW, ECW. Ring of Honor be like, that's what is that? Because I've seen these people do this. The fuck is that? You might get one geek or one nerd like, what about Ring of Honor? You're like, fuck is that? Was that like a video game of Thrones or something? What is that? Ring of Honor. It's not Lord of the Rings. It's an actual wrestling show. I guess so it's not that worth talking about. As far as on a mainstream level, it's not. TNA have to bust through the door to get to a mainstream level of being talked about. So Ring of Honor has to earn them stripes, man. Let's just keep it real. They have to earn them fucking stripes. Ring of Honor is not even at the level. Well, I'll put it like this: if we got to put it, I put it in the standards. It's put in the standards. WWE is WWE from the 90s. TNA is WCW. Before Hogan hit it. Before Hogan hit WCW. Right now, you have, let's say, Ring of Honor is ECW.
I see that, yeah. That's what they get up compared to a lot besides, ECW.
Even though they're not doing all the hardcore things, but still, as far as on that level of just being there, but still, Ring of Honor is they're not quite ECW popular yet, but I got a feeling that if they keep striving, they'll get there.
They have a rowdy fan base and everything like that.
Yeah, I believe they'll get there to an ECW level, and then probably maybe go on or maybe I don't know. You got other companies like Lucha Underground. You got Global Force. So now Ring of Honor is just gonna have they got 3 people that's in their bracket. They got 2 other people that's in their bracket. They got, of course, Lucha Underground,
Dragon Gate, Pro Wrestle, Gorilla.
Oh yeah, they got a lot of other people that's in there because Ring of Honor is a cream of crop right there with that level with the indie area. I say the indie top card level. I say Ring of Honor is the top of them. But as far as on the mainstream, TNA is second, NWE is first. Let's keep it straight honest, So the main threat that I see for Ring of Honor right now is probably Global Force.
Well, what would you rate like New Japan in that though?
New Japan, New Japan is disqualified by default by the connection to them. Fans can't really connect that well to New Japan. American fans. So,
but like Japanese fans, they can connect to WWE.
Well, that's because a lot of Japanese people they speak English over there. It's a pretty big language over there. So like if we go over to Japan right now, there's a lot of people that they speak a lot of English. So yeah, let's speak damn good English, But that's just the main problem is the language barrier. Now if if W gets let's say a Japanese broadcast team, maybe that would help out. But still, there has to be the translation is gonna be a little off. But one thing that helped WWE reach that level is that they had stars that crossed over barriers. Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, they crossed over barriers because they were eye pop, they were appealing. And in the Japanese culture, you gotta look at it. Any culture, somebody that's physically opposing and that catches your attention, it transcends genres and generations. Because right now, you got kids that can look at Hulk Hogan, old pictures, and be like, wow, what's that guy? You got kids that will look at Ultimate Warrior's picture, him muscling up and going crazy and all that type of stuff and paint all in his face. That guy's he's a fucking cartoon character. He's a hero come to life. He's long gone. He's passed R.I.P. Rest in peace to Ultimate Warrior, but he's passed away. But still, his image by far eliminates damn it any wrestler on the roster right now. If you look at people that's gonna be eye popping that'll catch your attention, guarantee you, 100%, Ultimate Warrior will catch a lot of key. I've done this before. Said which wrestler who you want to see fight, and they always who is that? Like, you want to see him fight? Yeah, I want him. They want him over your John Cena. They want him over all of them because they want to see that guy get in there and they want to see what he can do. And
that speaks to the career problem that not only WWE but a lot of wrestling now, they don't really have those standout characters. I mean, Jeff Hardy tries with the makeup, but it doesn't really it stands out, but it doesn't like stand out for too long. They had it kind of with the Boogeyman, but they didn't last long. They don't have those characters that really pop out at you anymore.
Yeah, they don't support them. But when we talk about the problems with WWE, they don't really just. I mean, I don't want to. We ain't gonna go there because we'll be all day with that one.
Well,
that's the wrap. So I'm about to say, that's the wrap up with that particular segment of the show, which we were just going in on the latest, hottest topic, which is Ring of Honor possibly being taken out of, Ring of Honor's meeting that they had with Sinclair. So far, it didn't go very well. So for those that wanted the daily spill of that's our input on that one. I'm taking away American.